Hi there, I'm Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I have for us a beginner style yoga flow. Now, you don't have to be a beginner to enjoy this type of practice. You could be practicing for years, and this is a great one to bring you back to the foundations, coming back to your alignment, and just kind of focusing a little bit differently on your practice than you usually do. It's also great if you're tight through your hips, maybe you've been traveling or sitting a lot, because a lot of our emphasis today will be on this midsection. There will also not be any chaturangas, but if you want to throw them in there with your flow, there'll be time to do so. Let's get started. We'll go start at the top of our mat. We're going to start standing. Big toes to touch, heels a little bit apart, but if that doesn't feel steady, spread out your feet and go hip distance. We're going to inhale, arms come up. Eyes gaze towards the sky. We'll stay here for the first exhale. Inhale, taller. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, whatever that looks like for you, maybe hands towards your shins or even a little more support on your thighs. Exhale, fold. For the first one, inhale rolls you slowly all the way up. We're going to go through that one more time. Inhale, arms up, over the top. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, taller. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. With a flat back this time, reverse that swan dive all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Closing your eyes just for a moment if it feels comfortable. And let's set an intention. This is a shorter practice, so let's really be here in these postures and in this moment. On your next inhale, bring your arms down, around, and up. Reach your right wrist to your left hand and pull it over the top. So in this side stretch, this is pretty common to go a little further, but instead, don't go as low, open up through your chest. Press your hips forward, maybe your eyes gaze up. Back through center and switch to the other side. Left hand, reach for your right wrist, pull up first, and then over. Press your hips forward, keep your chest open, and gaze up. Back through center, dive it down, forward fold. We're gonna hang out here for a minute. If your feet are together, maybe inch them apart. You can reach for opposite elbows. Maybe find a little sway, side to side. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Just feeling that stretch through your lower back, down through your hamstrings. This time we'll stay low. We're going to step back to a modified plank. So however you want to get there, we'll put our knees down and then send your hips forward for this modified plank. Shoulders will be over your wrists. Untuck your toes. If you're ready for a full plank and you want to challenge yourself more, go ahead, but I'll do the modification today. So starting to tighten up around your belly button, pressing up strong through all 10 fingers. Then we're going to press it back to child's pose. So I'm going to put my knees a little wider, my big toes to touch, reach everything out in front, and place my forehead to the mat. If that doesn't work for you, stack your hands and bring the mat to you. The goal here is just to relax through the back of your neck, sinking your hips towards your heels, and grounding the body. On your next inhale, come up to all fours. We'll go through a few rounds of cat-cow. Keep your toes untucked. As we inhale, eyes go towards the sky, tail goes towards the sky. As we exhale, tuck your chin and round everything out. Inhale, gaze up. Take these at your own pace. Exhale, round. Last one, inhale up. And round. Find your way back to neutral. Reach your right fingertips out like they're in a tent. Then lift your left foot back. And chances are your hip was up. Square it down. So those bony hip points are pointing towards the ground and everything's on the ground. So we're just gonna hold here and breathe for 2. Find length through your spine, length through your arm, length through that leg. And then if you're ready, lift it up. Let's flip your thumb towards the sky if it's lifted. Strong flex through that left foot. And let's add some movement. Tap down lightly and up. Tap down and up. Just one more. Tap down and up. Bring that left leg out to the side. Try to line it up with your opposite knee and just shift back and forth. As I said in the beginning, we're going to get into our hips a bunch today, so just starting a little bit of blood flow. If you're super mobile in this spot, you can send it back to a modified child's pose and sink all the way back, or keep it as high as you need to. We're just here for one more big breath. Then we'll find ourselves back to tabletop. Left hand tense out, right foot, and then dip that hip. So square them off towards the floor and just stay here, finding length through those limbs and through your spine. Then when you're ready, press strongly into your right hand and lift up. Turn your thumb towards the ceiling. Pull your shoulder away from your ear. Flex through your right foot. Your knee should be facing the ground, not the side. And we add the motion. It's a light tap and lift. Light tap and lift. Last one. Light tap and lift. This time, bring that right foot out to the side. I'll adjust so you can still see my foot, trying to line it up with your knee. And then ever so gently rock side to side. And when I say side to side, I mean front and back. There it is. And if you have the range of motion, you have the flexibility, maybe it feels good to lay back into this child's pose with that leg out to the side. If that's way too much, do what works for your body. Then once again, we'll meet into tabletop. This time we'll bring our right foot forward and find ourselves into this modified lunge. My left foot's pointing forward, my right knee is down. I'm gonna walk my hands up, and then once again, focus on squaring my hips. So I'm pulling my left hip back, my right hip forward, and I'm staying here. You can untuck your toe, or if you want a little bit more, arms come up. Straight and strong like arrows. And if you want a little bit more intensity, tuck your back toe and come on off your knee. But I'm gonna modify everything today. One more inhale here, maybe even gaze up. Plant your hands down, shift your hips back, hamstring stretch. Pulling that left hip back again, pull it back, right hip forward into this hamstring stretch for 2 big breaths. We'll flow between those two. It's a lunge. Maybe your arms come up. Exhale everything back. We're gonna go 3 like that. Lunge, inhale up. Mindful of that front toe pointing forward, not turning in, not turning out. Last one here. And we switch it out. As gracefully as you can, step your right foot forward. Left knee stays down to start, walk your hands up. Find your way into this lunge. If it's too much with your arms in the air, use a little support on your thigh. Now working to pull your right hip back, left hip forward, and we breathe. No matter where you are, find your stillness. Just your breath is moving. Last one, maybe you gaze up and send it back. Hamstring stretch. For the hold to start, pull this right hip back, left hip forward. If coming down into your hands isn't working for you today, come on up into your leg. As long as you're feeling a slight pull in the back of your leg. Let's flow with it. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Last one here. Inhale up. Exhale back. We'll all meet in downward facing dog, this upside down letter V with your body. Plant your hands out in front. Press through all 10 fingers. Tuck your toes under and send your hips high. Heels do not need to touch the mat. Knees can have a soft bend in them. Press through all 10 fingers. Gaze is back between your legs. Lengthen your inhale and exhale. Maybe those heels slowly sink towards the floor. Then however you can get it there, walk your right foot up between your hands. Take as many steps as you need to. Turn your back heel down so your back foot's at a 45-degree angle. We're going to turn up to Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, we're going to have a deep bend through our front leg, straight leg through your back leg. Sink low, and your shoulders are going to be right over your hips. Arms come out, and then our gaze goes over our middle finger of our front leg. We're going to stay here and breathe, sinking as low as you can. We're not here long. We're going to add motion to it. We're going to pump our Warrior Two. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Sinking low every time. We only have 3. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Whatever that means for you. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Next inhale up, just the switch. Switch over to the other side. Opposite foot goes straight ahead. Turn that back foot in. Find that deep bend through that front leg. Then arms come up. Look at your shoulders over your hips. Arms are so straight, make them work. Gaze over that middle finger. We breathe. Last one still. And we move. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale a little deeper. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. This time, we cartwheel our hands down. We step it back to that modified plank. And we hold. Now you can, of course, be from your feet. If you'd like to be from your feet, we're going to move into a side plank. Plant one hand down. Lift the other one up, keeping your bottom knee lower on the floor, and lift up side plank. We'll extend our side plank today. Reach your hand overhead, feeling a stretch through those obliques, those awesome abdominal muscles on the side of your body, and maybe even look up as you lean back. Bring your hand down, around. We're just going to switch it over to the other side. Opposite hand comes up. You'll see what the reverse looks like. Start high and then extend it. If that feels good, lean it back and look through. Coming back to this modified plank. If you'd like to take it through a chaturanga, be my guest. If you don't even know what that means, we'll all go back to downward facing dog. Upside down letter V with your body, second time here. Should feel a little more natural. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet, slowly rolling up. And we're going to go into one balance. We're going to go into tree today. Plant your right foot down. Left foot starts in a kickstand. Hands just on your hips. Square your hips. Make sure they're both facing forward and they're at the same height. They're not one's higher than the other. So same height, facing forward. Maybe you stay here. Bring your hands to your heart. Maybe you'd like a little challenge and bring your foot up to your calf, but then recheck in with your hips. Make sure they're forward. Make sure they're the same height. If that still looks good, bring it all the way up. Maybe even use your hand inside of your thigh and stay here for tree. I'm going to do the calf version today. Pressing my knee out to the side, straight and strong with my base leg. Find a point to focus on, your drishti, and breathe. Lower your shoulders. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Make that connection. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Plant your left foot down. Right foot starts in this kickstand, hands on your hips, just to make sure they're starting good foundation. Hips face forward, same height. Really tucking this one under. Stay here and hands come to heart center. Maybe you come to balance. Maybe you'd like to try on this side, the inner thigh. We're just avoiding the knee. And once again, I'm going to come down to my calf today. And breathe. Thumbs to your sternum, aka your breastbone. Gaze soft but steady. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Come on down to the mat. Gonna make your way into a bridge pose. Working the back half of our body, plant your feet, and then reach for your heels. Your fingertips should be able to graze your heels, and if not, they should be close. We'll put our hands on our hips, and then press through your feet to lift your hips up and lower. Then we'll put our hands, I like to call these robot arms, pressing your triceps down, pressing your elbows straight, active fingertips, press up. So you can use them a little and lower, or press up, palms down, and here. Interlacing your fingers underneath, always the option. Find where you'd like to hold. Do you want to hold your bridge with your hands on your hips, pressing your hips a little higher? Find your robot arms, or interlace. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Come on down. This time we're going to focus on the legs. So you know where your hands are going. This time I want you to focus on your 11s. Make sure your legs are parallel. They're not splaying into each other. They're not turning out. Press straight up. Check in with your legs and then decide where you want your hands this time. So our last one, we'll hold for 3, a little higher for 2, last lift for 1. If you interlace, let them go. Slowly lower your hips down. Hug your knees in, rock back and forth, giving your lower back a little massage. Then let your knees fall to the right and look to the left. Spinal twist. Any variation here. You can cross your knees for a little bit deeper of a stretch. You can lower them away from your chest for a little bit less. And switch it over. Knees come through center, knees go to the left, gaze goes to the right. Do the same variation you did on the first side. If you haven't closed your eyes, now's a great time to do so. Take your attention inward. We're almost through. Knees come back up to center. One last hug. Everything in. Maybe forehead goes towards your knees. And then let everything go. Stretch your feet out. Stretch those arms out. If arms aren't comfortable by your side, maybe put them in a W up here. Find what's the most comfortable space for you to hold. It's only 30 seconds. Let go of the control of your breath. Let your feet splay out. Let your body do what feels comfortable. And just be. You're of course welcome to stay in this position, or we'll meet up in a comfortable seat. We'll roll to one side. Slowly press up. Keep your eyes closed if it works for you. If you're seated, sit up nice and tall. We'll bring our arms down around to the side, all the way up overhead. And then just like the beginning of our practice, hands together, down to heart center. And with your next inhale, thumbs between your eyes, known as your third eye, the sight of intuition. And we'll all bow together as we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in that yoga flow today. I hope your hips feel better than you did when you started. And if you haven't joined us over at Time Out for Moms on Facebook, we'd love to have you. It's a group of amazing moms who are prioritizing their own self-care just 2% of the day. Go have a great one.